there, I hope that you're having a great day today. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 easy ways to get your teen talking. If you're new here, my name is Jenny. I am a wife, I am a mom, and I am a student ministry leader. I strive for this to be a place where you can come and be encouraged, uplifted, and inspired in your walk with Jesus. If that sounds like somewhere you want to be, consider subscribing. All right, so let's get into these 5 tips on how you can get your teen talking. All right, so the pandemic has been really hard on a lot of people. Teenagers are no exception. The statistics for depression and suicidal thoughts since the pandemic began are staggering. We have to remember that isolation is easy prey for the devil. So these students are on his radar, and man, he is going after them. So we, as their support group, have to work harder at being able to speak truth into their lives. I realize that for some of you, this is really difficult. You might be like, well, I'm not a teenager person, or I don't know how to start up a conversation. I want to challenge you guys. If you love Jesus, you are called to live uncomfortably. If you're not uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong. Go stick your neck out there, stick your image out there, stick your reputation out there, and just try. If you love these teenagers, they're worth the effort. Tip number 1, talk to them about what they like, even if you don't like it. Teens are in their years of developing independence and their own strong opinions and beliefs, and so they want to be heard about things that are important to them. So if you engage them in a conversation based upon their favorite music or their favorite Netflix show to binge watch or whatever, and ask them why they like those things, more than likely they're going to tell you because they want to be heard. Another idea is to ask them, hey, what would you like for dinner this week? If you're like me, we kind of have the same thing for dinner every single week. But if you want to take just one extra step, ask them, what would you like for dinner this week? What's your favorite thing that I make? And they can answer you, I like meatloaf. Oh, awesome, that's so cool. Would you like to help me make it? Right, so now you have an opportunity to not only have them be heard, but to show them something along the way. Talk to your teens. Tip number 2, encourage them. Let them know that you're proud of them often. And I know some people say, well, maybe they're going to get tired of it, or maybe it's going to be redundant if I just say, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you. It's not going to get redundant. I can count 2 times in my 30 some odd years of life that I ever heard my dad tell me he was proud of me. And I remember those so vividly. So make sure that you're telling your student that you're proud of them, and be proud of the little things. Hey, you know what? If they turned in an assignment on time, bravo. We as adults may not look at that as something that's like a huge accomplishment, but the smallest compliment from you to your teenager is going to be huge to them. Tip number 3, set aside special time to spend with your teenager. If you're like me, my days are super busy from when my eyes open to when they close, somewhere around 2 a.m. Our lives did not slow down with the pandemic. They actually, I feel like, are on fast forward now, and it's kind of the same day over and over, but you have so many things to do and not a lot of time. And so it's really easy to sort of neglect time with your teenager because you're so wrapped up in making everything run smoothly. So if you set aside special time to spend with them, they're going to know that you've prioritized that time over all these other things that you have going on. One way that my family and I did this when the pandemic first began is that we took every Thursday and we would learn a new line dance. The whole family was involved, and it was hilarious because I have some sort of rhythm and my husband doesn't, and it's just really fun to watch us try to figure things out together. But we had just a great time, and they laugh and we learn together, and hey, now we can dance, I think. I'm going to let you in on a very special secret. It's called a love bomb. Now, this tip is very near and dear to my heart because I started doing this several years ago for my students who were just having a hard time, who were dealing with self-hate or depression or just having just a rough time about it. What a love bomb is essentially a community of people that get together that want to love on the specific teenager in a certain way. So the way that we did it was that I would hand out post-it notes to everyone in the youth ministry without this person knowing, and I would have them write on that post-it note what Jesus sees when he looks at that student. I would gather those notes and I would coordinate with their parents and enter into their homes when that student was at school, and I would put those post-it notes all over their mirror, and I would usually include candy or a prayer journal or something like that. And so when they would come home, they would look at that mirror and it would say, when Jesus looks at whatever their name was, he sees in all of the things that Jesus sees when he looks at that person. This has had just tremendous results in my ministry, in my home, in my community. It's just been really, really amazing to see how people feel so encouraged when they can look at themselves and say, when Jesus looks at Jenny, he sees his daughter, or he sees someone who's worthy, or he sees someone who's creative, right? Like, because we don't necessarily think of ourselves the way that Jesus does. So that is an awesome, awesome way to just love on your teenager, and I guarantee you they're gonna say something to you. So how I would alter this to work with your students, because obviously most of us are not attending church in person and having regular youth group times and things like that, is I would just involve your family. If they have siblings, you have grandma and grandpa that live with you, or just parents, just write out as many as you can and stick it on whatever mirror they have that they use the most often. Let me know if you guys do this, because you're gonna get some good conversations out of that. Tip number 5, ask them how you can pray for them specifically. This should already be something that we do, that we're in the habit of doing, but I understand that for some people it's a little bit intimidating because they might give an answer that you feel like requires a response and you don't know what you're gonna say. Don't do that. Don't worry about responding. Just worry about actually genuinely listening to them and what it is that they're struggling with. This is going to give you great insight. If your teenager is comfortable enough to share with you something specific that they need prayer for, man, that is the Lord at work right there, because they don't typically want you to know that they're struggling with stuff. They want to be isolated because that's safe. If your conversation leads into something where they are just opening up a little bit more about it, or asking you to walk with them through whatever it is they need prayer for, maybe, you guys can sit down and look up devotions on the Bible app about this specific topic or something like that. But don't feel like you have to solve their problem as they're speaking. They just want to be heard, and we want to make sure that we're creating a safe space for them to be heard. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you guys do any of these things, how your students responded. I will be praying for you, and I will see you soon. Bye.